Hello and welcome to Reality Realness. We
Woo,
are
woo, woo.
back.
Yes, we're back and it's summer.
Summertime. It's hot.
Hot, hot, hot.
So my name is Michael Pez, and my co-star is,
Chantele Francis.
and we are here to talk about our favorite show, our favorite game, Big Brother 21 US Can't Be Beat.
I mean, it's a strong statement, but Big Brother in general can't be beat. Big Brother 21, not so sure yet.
What do you mean?
Well, I just don't know if I like the direction that it's going in.
Oh, well, I didn't say that was the best one.
Oh, because you said Big Brother 21. And so I thought you were saying that it was the best one so far.
No, it's number 21.
Okay, no, it's definitely. It's
It's number 21. They had to do a different approach. They've had a couple, they have, I don't know, twists. And
I guess my thing is, I will always love Big Brother. It's kind of like pizza. No pizza's really all that bad. They're all decent, but there's some pizza that's better than others. So Big Brother, I will always watch Big Brother. I will always complain about Big Brother. I'll always talk about Big Brother. I'll always want to know what's going on in Big Brother. Always. Yeah. But I guess the thing is that I feel that they lost the formula. They lost what really made me love the show 20 years ago. They've lost that element, and that was the social experiment part of it. And now it seems as though what they think, well, maybe new fans want, but what they think I want, or people that watch the show want, is to see how people respond to shitty twists that ruin their games.
yes.
Or can't be used.
Yes.
So that's what it seems that they want, and I feel like it's really, really boring. And I also find that it stops the gameplay, which is what I live for when I watch Big Brother. Like, I'm like, I want to see how someone gets out of a sticky situation. I want to see, like, how they use their social skills to get them to the next level. Like, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see some ring of replacement or whatever that gets them to skip over 6 weeks. I don't want that ever. I don't want friendship bracelets. Well, the friendship bracelets was okay in the sense that, like, it could change up the dynamic interestingly enough, but like it actually ruined the entire season because all those people just became Paul's minions. So I guess whenever I see a new show or new season, I'm not as optimistic as of me enjoying it as thoroughly as I used to enjoy it back in the day, because I know that they're going to ruin it by twists.
I get it. And I agree with you. And I disagree with you. The disagree part is, unfortunately, our game has to evolve after 21 years. And who knows? Like, the simplistic formula of how we've come to love it, such as like in Big Brother 8 and 10 and 12 even, those seasons were all about, okay, two people are going up, one's coming down with the veto, and there was no real twist. There was all just, they just put like livelier, high-strung personalities in there. This Can't Be Beat is, yeah, it's too twisty, and like, why don't you guys just play it out?
Well, it's like, for instance, with Monopoly. I love Monopoly. I've played Monopoly 1,000 times in my life.
Hate Monopoly.
But there's some people that play Monopoly where you can land on, you put all like the free chance and any income tax and that stuff onto free parking, and then you land on free parking and you have $10,000, and then you win the game. And so I hated when people wanted to play with free parking, because it just made this whole lottery spin on like who's going to win the game. It's basically who wins free parking. And that's kind of how it feels like with these twists. It's like whoever gets the twist is going to win the game. And yes. I would rather it to be a clean game where, I mean, little twists, like the veto was originally a twist. So like, I like how the veto has evolved to be like a part of the game. But all these different, like, you know, being the banishment of the first night, I hate that. I hate that. It's like these people, like regardless of whether they're super fans or new fans or whatever, however, the recruits, whatever, they still filled out a gazillion pieces of paper and went through 10 different interviews and lived in, you know, a hotel room in LA for a week and not talk to their friends and family because they wanted to get on the show, and then it just be taken away from him by some guy that's voted in by people that don't know who he is to banish out of the house. Like I don't like that. Like someone's dream just gets taken away from them for absolutely no reason by someone that they don't even know their name probably.
They can't find their way through in the dark.
Yeah, it's just like I don't find that compelling television, and I just don't understand why it seems as though all the producers think that that's what we want to see. We want to see someone's heartbroken and dreams crushed night one after they've been working so hard to get on the show before they can even play. Like I hate that.
Like I would hate that to be me.
Oh, I would be mortified. Like I'd rather go out that way than to be maybe the first evicted, maybe. Sure. But like. I would just, like, you didn't even have a chance to play. Did he even sleep in the house? Like, I mean, I guess he probably slept in the house for a week before that all happened, like, while they get accustomed to living in the house and all that stuff. But, like, it's just brutal. It's just mean. It's like, now I know from, like, doing the Big Brother weekends with Nick that as a producer, coming from the producer side of things, it is interesting for me to watch players maneuver around these twists. It is. But I don't know, even if as an audience member, if I was watching Nick's game, if I would feel the same watching it. But as a producer, I have to say it is, I do be like, let's see how they deal with this. You know what I mean? Like, I do find it.
For sure. Like, I think it's just that the game has evolved so much. Like, in Big Brother, like, I always use just 10 because I found it just to be a very clean season. 10 was 10 set up 21. Like 21 has evolved this game, and like people are expecting twists, people are going to expect this. So yeah, it sucks for David on that first thing to get out. Fortunately, he's back in the house, and that's where we can say let's see where it goes from here. Absolutely. Now, CBS seems to be kind of not really addressing this issue. I know that they have talked to both Jack and Jackson about their attitudes and the way that they're speaking about certain people in the house. But that's another thing, too, that I find is frustrating, coming from the place of being a minority player, that, like, the chances are there's going to be 1, 2, maybe 3 minorities in a house, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I would include most of the time someone, a homosexual background or like trans, wherever they identify, the LGBT, to be part of like the minority sense in of the word. So like there might be 3 minorities, and then generally speaking, the rest will be, typical white and male females. And it's so hard for the 1, 2, and 3 minorities to get into the house. And the fact that they're all going to be targeted, boom, 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 boom this season, it's just really frustrating. And then when anybody speaks about it, because I do watch live feeds and I listen to a lot of updates, the feeds shut off when someone mentions like, oh, it might not be a good look that you're targeting someone else of color. And it's kind of like, isn't that the game though? Like, isn't that like, no, but like, isn't that the social experiment? Yes. Experiment of it? Yeah. Absolutely. And that's a big part of the game. That's the fact that they're shutting down the feeds. I'm like, that's not fair either. I didn't know they were doing that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not been apparent on the show that like, that people are even like suggesting that, like maybe you shouldn't put up somebody else of color right away. Like look at the order. It's like David, boom. Ovi, boom. Kemi, boom. Jessica. It's probably gonna be Jessica, boom. Maybe after that, then Cliff, the old guy, boom. Then it's probably gonna go to nerdy girl Nicole, boom. And Tommy, I think, like, would probably have been out earlier, but he has a very good social game. So, like, and he has Christie, who's really nestled in with Jack.
protecting him, just like he's not even on anybody's radar in that sense. So I really feel that if he didn't have that connection, he would probably more likely be one of the first 7 to go, you know?
Yes.
And that's also really frustrating that like these twists don't even help out the poor people that like have the short end of the stick here, you know?
I know.
And I'm just like,
well, let's pick our teams.
Yeah, let's pick our teams. So who's going first?
Well, I'm not picking any of the minorities.
I mean, I'm so annoyed because I was like, I don't know if I should share this yet, but I'm so annoyed because I'm in a draft pool. I only paid $25, but I still paid $25. And I was like, you know what? I feel like America's ready for Ovi. I feel like they're ready for Ovi. I'm going to go all in on Ovi. You know, he was the president of his, like at his university. And even seeing up to this point, like him and Jackson went to the same university. And so like, I thought that maybe he's going to be protected there. I'm like, yeah, that's good for Ovi. And then he's out basically first. And I'm like, ugh. So, I mean, he might come back because he has that power, but I don't know. He doesn't really have a good read on the house, in my opinion.
I know. Okay,
so let's do the picks before I start revealing my feelings about certain people.
Okay, so
a snake.
I will.
You're going first.
Why don't we just flip a coin?
So whoever whoever calls it correctly.
I'm gonna let you call it.
Yeah, and if I'm correct, I pick.
You pick the first pick.
Okay.
Okay. And
heads. Oh. Heads.
Heads.
Boom. So, I mean, I'm happy that I didn't lose this one now, but I'm putting my eggs in Tommy's basket.
Okay.
The reason why is like, as I was saying before, like he should be out one of the first 7, but because he's kind of nestled in with Christie, and I feel like people will be large once all the minorities are out of the game and the comeback is done. I think he'll fall in the background a little bit. Yeah. And all like the cool kids will start kind of fighting amongst each other, and like he just will kind of like be a vote back and forth. I just don't see them coming for him because he's so, at this point, he's not doing anything. He's just a loyal number, and Jack and Christie are pretty tight. So I don't think that he has anything to worry about anytime soon. So that's why I'm taking him first. I feel like he's in probably the best position in the house at this point. I feel like everybody trusts him. I feel like nobody's threatened by him. And I think that he can go pretty far.
Great.
You get 2.
I'm going to take my my buddy Nick. No, he's not my buddy, but I'm going to say Nick. I picked Nick from the beginning. As soon as I saw the intros, even from the faces, I chose Nick because Nick seems to be does he work in psychology, and he helps out like kids, and he is playing it kind of laid back. He's not he's with the bros, but he's not with the bros. He's semi-quiet. He kind of started the alliance to a point, and that's who I'm going to go with. He's kind of one of those fly under the radar kind of guys. He might have this showmance with Isabella, so that is something that can gradually happen. So, but at the same time, I think that she's a bigger threat than he is to everybody else. So I'm going to go with Nick as my first choice. And for my second choice, I am going to go with Holly.
Okay. I'm just thinking about Nick, though. I mean, before I started watching the show, I thought he'd be a pretty decent pick. But it seems as though he's kind of on the outs with Grateful. So him and Bella
That's okay.
are on the outs. And so when they get down to the 8, they're the first 2 that are supposed to be going. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, obviously, because anything can change.
Like, how can you dictate how the whole summer's going to go?
Oh, I know.
Just relax and just go work out and stay in the sun. That's what I would be doing.
Targeted.
No. You bitches conspiring against me?
Well, like she's like an Instagram like mogul or whatever, so she's probably wants to get a catchphrase and like have a whole saying about her. So I think that was intentional, personally.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
so Holly, you like Holly?
I like Holly. She seems to have a good head on her shoulder, although there seems to be showmance brewing between her and maybe Jackson. But at the same time, I'm like, she always just seems to like be thinking all the time. So I'm gonna go with her.
All right.
Okay.
To me, she's okay. I didn't really it didn't really show this on the show, but like she was approached by the group to do the women's alliance, and like the first thing she did was run to the guys and be like, "There's no way I'd be in a group in a women's alliance," and I was like, I don't really like that.
Well, she's not a girly girl like in her interview said.
She's not. She said that in her interview.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely. I mean, I get along with all girls, but I definitely prefer girls that like girls. Girls that don't like girls, they'll steal your boyfriend. And look what's happening.
And that's exactly what Ika Wong said.
Oh, that girly girls will steal your boyfriend?
No, she doesn't. She's not a big fan of Holly.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, just for that, like I just can't trust them as well as I can trust like I've always had a best girlfriend all my entire life since I was like 4 years old. Like I had a best girlfriend. So I understand girls. I get along with girls. Like I've always had a gaggle of girlfriends. But there was always those couple of them that like, oh, I only hang out with the guys. And like, they always stole people's boyfriends. Always. They did. They're sluts. But like, they're like, oh, but like, we just have such a better connection. Like, we're down to earth. I'm just like, no, you're a bitch. Basically. Anyways, so I think Holly might be a little bit of a bitch.
I'm not saying I want to hang out with her. I'm just saying I'm going to pick her to win.
Hey. Anyways, no offense, Holly. This is just like, I don't know you as a person. If you ever watch this, I'm not trying to come for you. That's just my opinion of that stereotype. I don't know if that applies to you at all, and I don't want to offend you. Okay, so I get 2. Well, you know what? He's gonna go probably far, actually, further than we gave him credit to in the beginning of this. I want to put some support behind Cliff.
Okay.
Because Cliff is like, he's not young, obviously, but he knows the game probably the best out of anybody that's playing. He's knowing to lay low.
He's been alive for all of them.
Sure. True story.
Yeah.
He knows the game, and like he knows to go with the power. He knows to kind of just like skate by a little bit, and so he may be able to cruise by. He might get targeted, obviously, because he would be considered minority, but he has a few weeks for that to happen. And if he and my second person, then I'm so like with the revolution right now, so funny. So I've got Cliff, and Nicole is going to be my other pick right now.
Okay.
Still, I guess I want a team underdog, because Nicole is not necessarily in the best position, but she's not in the worst position. If she actually teams up with the people that I'm talking about, and I think she's already kind of in with Cliff. I'm not sure what her relationship is with Tommy, but I do feel that they have a better finger on the pulse with what's going on in the game, and they may be able to do something about it. Not a women's alliance, clearly, but they might be able to do something once some infighting starts happening. So my next 2 picks are Cliff and Nicole.
Great. Now, do I go with fan favorites, or do I go with people who I think are going to win the game?
You want to win, girl.
I want to win. So, so if I want to win, then I'm going to go with Isabella. And I pick her because out of all the women in the house, I think that she is the one that...
Fakiest? Or the rattiest?
Yeah. Yeah, like she'll flip, and she has no problem flipping.
True. But people are getting suspicious of her, though. They're just like,
I know. I figured, but I mean, she could weasel her way out of it. Isabella, and then I want to pick this other person. I'm just gonna pick this one now. Ugh. I'm gonna pick them just because he's my favorite. Is Sam.
Okay. Sam and Bella.
Sam is so funny, and I think he's so great, and I love him, and he's trying to become fan favorite. He's like the Johnny Mac of the house, I think.
I think potentially these alpha male might be threatened by him because he's won 2 competitions that they were competing in with him.
I don't know that he won second competition.
What?
I do.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Sorry. Spoiler. Sorry. Spoiler alert. I'll put a disclaimer.
No, it's okay. I already knew that.
But by the time anybody sees it, they will be old news.
I know, sure.
Sorry, guys. Anyway, so I do feel as though he might become a target just because he might be considered a threat. And like if they're going with what they've been saying, like, oh, we got to get rid of Kemi because she came so close in that last veto competition. Like, what about Jessica? She was next up to you, Jack, in that head of household. Like, why isn't she the bigger threat?
I don't know. I don't understand like why they just dislike Kemi so much. All right.
They're scared of her. They're scared of her and David. Look how he's like terrified of David that he wants to like make him get angry over dishes and stuff like that. Like he's trying to like
Why for the dishes?
On the live feeds, he apparently like David's a bit of a neat freak, and so he's always cleaning stuff. And so Jackson wanted to ruffle his feathers, and so he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna put tons of dishes in the kitchen just to piss him off, make him angry." And it's like, why?
Why?
Yeah, why? Because he wants to like him to like go off. Like I don't know.
So you could have a narrative,
I get like a reason to hate him. Like I don't know.
No.
And like now they have a reason to say like, oh well, I'm going after Kemi because she's going after me. It's like you also put her in, the banishment competition, so she has a reaon to hate her.
Did you also see that he wanted to punch a mud hole through her chest?
That's also not a good look. Anyways. Okay, who's next? I don't love her, but I think she might go far. Sis.
Yeah.
Now she's like buddy with Holly. I think Holly would take a hit before she does. She's buddy. If you have watched the live feeds, she's got a little hot and heavy with Mr. Jack in the head of household room. So
plays a lot with his hair, so I see it.
What? She plays a lot with his
hair. Yeah.
Fair for the hair. So yeah, like she'll have a little bit of a meat shield with him and like a female meat shield with Holly. She doesn't really game that much except for her hatred towards Kemi. Why? No. And so it's just kind of at this point, I think that she'll just like sleep by. She's not gonna really win any competitions. She's not really that scary. So I think she'll make it at least to like final 3. You know what I mean?
So she's like the if I was compared to any other past players, I would say she
Victoria. Is that her name?
Oh, that's an insult. I would say like Big Brother Canada. I would say she's like an Esty.
I was like, who's Esty? Yes, like an Esty. Actually exactly like an Esty. That's great. That's a really good comparison. And I liked Esty. I don't know if I like Sis because I don't like this main alliance thing. I just don't like it. Obviously, I'm always rooting for the underdog and the minority, and she's not on that side. Apparently the joke is though on the internet, it's like, wait till they find out that Sis is Spanish.
She is Spanish. And isn't Isabella Asian?
Well, Bella's on that hit list too. We didn't mention her, but she's in there before Cliff and Nicole, I think.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I think so. They're talking about getting her out, so.
All right.
Okay, so Analyse, and then I'm gonna take Christie.
Okay.
Obviously, the Tommy connection. I I mean, she's a little bit spastic in her head of household competition or reign, but I do feel that she knows the game enough to kind of get by. I don't think they're going to target her anytime soon. Jack seems to really have her in his corner, so I think he'll protect her a little bit. And so like she has both Tommy and Jack protecting her, I would say, and I think that's a strong duo to have supporting her and kind of keeping her in the know as to what's going on.
Okay. How many people is there? 15 or 16?
I think there's 16.
Okay. I'm just missing somebody, I think.
David, probably.
No, I have him. I have David, Obi, Jack, Jess, Kemi, Jackson, and
Kathryn?
Oh yeah, that's what I was forgetting. Okay. Now I will take fuck. Okay, I'll take Kat.
Cat's off the board.
I'll take Kat, and I'll take God. I want to win, right? Oh God, it's like, do you dip into the people that have already been kicked off, or for the people that are still there? I'll take Obi.
Okay. I mean, it's a good pick because he has that power. I think that it's in the best interest of people to try to use that power.
Sure. I mean, would that be a reason why not to bring him back into the house?
100% as well. But I don't know. Like Obi can always get it. I just don't feel like he's a threat, and so being able to weaponize him is like I think would be good. You know what I mean?
It all depends on how they come back in. Do you think that they have to vote the person back in?
I think that's what they're gonna do.
I don't mind that. I think that'd be great.
I hate that because they're going to go with who most likely either who's there the longest. So like either the fourth person is just gonna come back in, or who's most white. Like
or they just get a new camp director.
You think the person that will come back in will be the camp director?
Or the camp director, they get a new camp director. I don't know.
I hope, because they said that their social game is supposed to be important. I'm hoping that they have to answer questions about the house guests.
That's what I was thinking about too, where they have to be like, how well do you know your house guests? Like, how many kids does Cliff have? All this stuff. And like, that's the whole key thing about summer camp is getting to know each other and being social and all that.
Like, I just hope that it's on the onus of the people that are in Camp Comeback. I want them to be able to take the game into their own hands and not just have it in the mercy of Jack, who's saying, like, don't talk game to the comeback kids. You know, it's like, fuck off.
God. All right, you're up.
Am I good? Well, I'm just going to take the two of them. I'm taking Jack and Jackson.
Might as well.
I mean, they suck as human beings, in my opinion, from what I've seen of them. But they're good at competitions, and they have half the house that's like obsessed with them. So
they have a whole season to redeem themselves.
I don't think that people in the resistance may be able to pull the trigger because they're so shimmered by them. So they might actually just get to the end just because they're bros, they'll win comps, and they got a lot of people supporting them.
Yep.
And like,
right.
Yeah. Anyways.
I'll take, well, I don't think that Jack or Jackson's going to win. And I think that I'm pretty solid with my team.
You're just basically deciding who I get.
Well, I'm going to take, I'm going to just keep it interesting. I'm going to take Kemi.
Okay.
Yeah.
And?
I don't know. She is a little sassy, and she is a little bit like, I liked when she was like, I'm not going to go and plead with Jackson because why do I need to go do that? I'm just going to take the game in my own hands. And sure, that's not the way social should do it. And she is also very upfront and blunt with her comments. However, that doesn't stop other people from like losing or winning or anything like that. So there you go. I'm going to keep her.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one last one for you.
Who am I missing then? I'm missing another.
David and Jessica.
Oh, I get one more. Okay, then I'll take Jessica then.
All right. Jessica's your last pick, huh?
David's going to win the whole thing. So.
Well, I mean, I'm actually happy to have David because him coming back into the game, he was able to have a little bit of a clearer perspective. A lot of people that do podcasts have been talking about how the Ovi just does not have his finger on the pulse of like what's going on in the house, and it's because he's still in there. It's like, you know, when you're just like in a room and there's a bad smell and you can't smell the bad smell, and someone comes from outside and like, oh my god, it reeks in here. It's like he's immersed in it. He's ingratiated in it. He's ingratiated in the bad smell. He can't tell that it stinks.
It smells like bobcat pee.
Exactly. And so I think David coming in and having like not knowing what's going on and being able to just be able to see everything with fresh, clear eyes. He hasn't been told any lies yet. He hasn't like made fake bonds or real bonds or think they're real. Like he's just coming in completely fresh and just gets to observe and gets to have his opinion with his like feelings and his
the best is that conversation between him and Kat. Kat's like, there's not really any alliances, and he goes, yeah, there is.
I was just thinking, I'm like, was she just doing that sort of like, was she lying, like just trying to like do that, or she's just an idiot?
She's been spelling her hair too much.
She's an idiot. Okay, because I was just like, you must be doing that on purpose because that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
If there's no alliances, it's because you're not in it.
You can't spot the booger, you know. Here's the deal. That's a good team. So my team is Nick, great. Holly, great. Isabella, great. Sam, great. Kat, meh. Avi, Kemi, Jessica, ooh.
I mean, mine is pretty strong. I'm not gonna lie. I got Tommy, Cliff, Nicole, Analyse, or Sis, Christie, Jack, Jackson, and David.
Okay.
So it was actually really great that we were able to do everybody because everybody's still kind of in the house. And like, obviously there's some people that have less of a chance of winning, but I'm still happy to.
I'm happy with my top 5.
They were going to win anyways, right? So.
The other people are not going to win anyways. So there you go.
I mean, Obi was my number 1 pick for that draft, which I'm like really sad about. But
and Nick is still my number 1 pick for my draft. So, and like, I still got to have him. So I'm okay with that.
I mean, I'd rather. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so we're gonna finish that up with that, and then we might just go like talk a little extra something.
How about we just shut her down and then we'll just reopen one for our
okay, cool. So thank you so much for watching. Big Brother is still a whole summer to go. There's so much gameplay left. The first 4 people are gonna get kicked off, but stay in the house and come back for Camp Comeback. Which would be super exciting because if I was to get kicked off and stay in that house, I just cause shit. Like, you got rid of me, you come everything. I would chirp and I would ruin everyone's game. I would just try to because what you do, get rid of me. Whoever gets a third needs to cause the most destruction. Because what you do, you can't kick me out. You just got a whole another week, and I still maybe get to come back. Right?
Absolutely. Anyway. I mean, it's to do that. It's to ruin people's game and to solidify a potential alliance if you do come back.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's why people like Obi and like David and whoever gets kicked off this week, which will be one of the 3 girls, that's when they go, oh, hey, Cliff, this person and this person, because if they'll see who the majority is. They'll see who's hanging out with everybody else. Anyway, so we can't wait to watch. We'll come back and we'll talk more about it later in the summer. But for right now, my name is Michael Pez.
Chantele Francis.
You can find us at Realness on Instagram with 3 S's. You can subscribe down below, and we'll be back talking about reality TV. Love Island starts soon.
Oh my God.
Well as The Bachelor is finishing up this in the next couple weeks, and who knows what else we can talk about it. So anyway, Stay tuned and keep watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
Cheerio.